Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Amy.
And I'm Sarah, and today we're going to be discussing Fatal Betrayal by Barbara Freethy.
The first few minutes we're going to do a brief review of the story without any spoilers, then we're going to shift into a deeper book discussion, which is going to include lots of spoilers, but don't worry, as always, we are going to let you know before we do shift into that deeper book discussion.
That's right. So before we jump into that deeper book discussion, Amy, tell us what Fatal Betrayal is all about.
This is a romantic suspense about a woman who is an FBI agent specializing in missing children, and her former best friend turned bitter enemy, who is a forensic psychologist called in to work with her on a case. This story has lots of tension, suspense, and mystery. Sarah, what did you think of Fatal Betrayal?
Whew, okay. I have to say, this was a hard one for me to read because of the topic that it deals with. When it's dealing with kidnapping, there's other things that transpire. As a mom, it's difficult for me to read that kind of stuff. So
Sure.
if I do, the story has to be compelling.
Mm-hmm.
I will, but I don't seek them out. This one had me hooked from the get-go. I finished the story in a day.
I did too.
I was sucked into it. Probably some of the topic because I needed to get out of it and not read it anymore. But I love that the friends to enemies back to working together dynamic of it. I love the story that unfolds, the way that their relationship kind of unfolds throughout. So yeah, it was gripping from beginning to end.
I agree. There's a lot of push and pull between the two main characters, which I love. That tension that I was excited about. I love a good enemies to lovers story, so I was definitely here for it. And then you added suspense, and it's the perfect setup for such a great story.
Yeah.
I loved it. All right, ratings, angst.
Okay, angst. This was a 3.5 for me.
I knew it'd be high for you.
Yeah, it was high. And honestly, it would be higher. But I was like, well, I mean, I didn't feel... But the topic for me, it bumped it up. Anytime there's something to do with children, my angst goes up.
I suspected that you would rate it high. I gave 1.75. It felt like a little bit like a game of Clue, trying to figure out who did the crime and trying to figure out throughout the story.
Sure.
The subject matter was overall definitely very angsty, like you said.
Yeah, yes, I have to be clear with that. It's the subject matter for me. It's not the way in which it's written.
Correct.
You're not getting a lot of if you were getting the story from the perspective of the person having been kidnapped, it would have been probably way more angsty. It's the topic for me. So just so we're clear on that.
All right, humor.
I gave it 0.5.
I did 0.75, and I even felt that was probably high.
Yeah, there were some funny moments that I kind of chuckled, but this is not a humorous story, as you could probably guess with kidnapping and other things. So yeah, but there's some moments that you get a little bit of a reprieve.
Yeah, not much on the laughter scale.
No.
So low for me too. Spiciness.
Okay, I had this one thing, and I was thinking about it leading to recording, and I'm going to change it to a 0.75.
Okay, I did 1.
Okay, I had it at 1. I had it at 1, and I was like, I feel like that's a little high.
It is a little high.
Yeah, maybe I should
I'm going to
just keep
stick
it
with my 1, but you do you.
I'm going to go down to 0.75.
Okay.
Just because there's not, there's not a vivid or a detailed, intimate scene. There's some tension.
Yeah, that's mostly the tension for me, and like I said, that push and pull chemistry, that's why I rated it what I did. All right, tears.
Okay, tears. This was a 3.5.
I knew it'd be high for you.
Yeah.
I did 1.5.
I have to say, I did not cry.
Okay, I didn't either.
But I just can't deal with children.
I knew the subject matter would be hard, and it was hard for me too, but I don't have kids, so it's not quite as escalated as it is for you. The overarching subject matter is sad, but I didn't cry. I didn't feel the urge to cry. I was just saddened for...
Which I was thankful for that. Given what it is written about, I was thankful that I was not sobbing because I didn't know going in if this was going to really just get me. The topic gets me, but I didn't cry.
Yeah. All right, overall?
I gave it a 4.5.
Okay.
It was compelling, and I was hooked, and I feel like, It's just, I thought it was really well written.
Yeah, I did 4.25. It was a very fast read, like we said. It was overall very engaging. I was enthralled with the whole thing. Characters are very likable. The subject matter is tough to read, but overall it held my interest and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too.
All right, that concludes our spoiler-free quick review of this story. If you haven't read this story, go check it out. And then you can listen to our full, deeper discussion by simply clicking the link below, or you can search on any available podcast platform under Postbook Depression. Then we would love to connect with you on social media. You can find us on Instagram at Postbook Depression Podcast, on Facebook in our Postbook Depression discussion group. You can also email us at postbookdepressionpodcast@gmail.com.